We don't have any sound. I didn't hear that. Can you guys hear me online there?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
How's everyone doing this morning? Everyone hiding in the cold at home?
Under the blankets.
Under the blankets, right?
This one is good.
It's okay. It's okay. This is why we're doing the prep work, because this month is the month you're doing all the prep work. Because if you start January 1st, you're going to make no money January, February. So you have to do all your planning now. Anyways, welcome everyone this morning. We're going to talk about goal setting. Remax Ace here at Kennedy and Consumers Road. Come and join us. I'm going to let Selvin take the floor first and talk a little bit about goal setting for 2025.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. So we are going to talk about something very important for all of us. Since we all are in self-employment business, we wanted to set up the goals for 2025. Those of you who has not made any goals for 2024, this is the time that we have to set up our goals for 2025. Because it's the end of the year. Starting within another 2.5 weeks, we are going to go into the new year. So we wanted to set up our goals for each and every one. Self-employment, when you talk about self-employment business, you have to have your goals in order to start your business. Because without setting up the goals, there's no direction for you to follow the business plans. So directions and the clear sense of purpose, you have to set it up. Which direction are you going? What is the purpose of your goal setting? When you set up your goals, there should be a purpose. And it has to be a achievable goal. Let's say you wanted to make $200,000 gross commissions. Then you have to have a plan to achieve that $200,000. If you don't have that plan, then it's very hard to achieve that goal. So that is the purpose, very important. And team efforts and resources that you need in order to achieve that goals. So what kind of resources you have? You have the brokerage, plus you have your time. And then which direction are you going with your goals? If you wanted to make that $200,000 gross commissions, what are the plans that you have in place? Especially when you are setting up $200,000, that $200,000 is not coming into your pocket. You have to also think about HST. So when you wanted to make 200,000 net commissions, then you have to make $226,000. Because that 26,000 is not your money. It's going towards the government payments. I wanted to talk about HST and different sessions because that is also important for real estate agents. Most of us having problems with the HST filing and paying their dues on time. When you are setting up your goals, you have to set up your goals, including the HST, and HST is not your money. Then you have to set aside to pay for CRA. And the other thing is, what are the third thing is the motivation. So if you really wanted to make that $200,000, what are the plans that you have in order to achieve their goals? Are you setting up your area for real estate? That farming is very important. And how are you going to achieve that goal? So do you have clientele, your database already set up, right? And how you are going to achieve is very important. And to achieve that goal, you have to have that plan. Setting up goal, once you set up, then you have to have the business plan. So as I said, your plan is to get $200,000 gross commissions. Then the business plan, you have to have it on the site. When you set up your business plan, like last class, she was teaching Sandra from Remax. Vision is very important. Which direction you are going and what are the plans. Most of us having a problem when you set up the goals to achieve that goals, right? And as I said, it is important to have the farming area. All the agents should have one area selected, at least 500 to 1,000 houses. You have to focus in one area to achieve your goals. And that is not only the farming area. And then you can also focus on your database, your friends and families. When you have set up on a database on a regular basis, you have to call them and talk to them and inform about your activities. You know, what are the projects coming as a new business in our office. You know, we are setting up at the office all the listing, whatever coming to our office, we are going to provide to other agents also. Same with your confirmation to advertise and to do marketing of your property, because it's important within our brokerage to sell our listings first, if it is possible. In that way, you can really achieve your goals by providing more inventories within our brokerage. I don't know how many of you have set up the goals already. It is very, very important, because without a plan, you won't be able to achieve whatever the goals you wanted to achieve. I think last year, 2024, we were sitting down with most of the agents going through their plans. And this year we plan to do the same thing. At the same time, we are going to monitor every single one of you, at least meeting once a week, once a month, to see the progress, how you are achieving your goals. If you are having any difficulties, we wanted to sit down and go through your plans and give you some more ideas how you can achieve towards your goals. The other thing is business plan. When you do the business plan, you have to have your budgeting first. The budgeting is a key important. Everyone have the different plans every year, right? So some of you need $300,000 per year. Some of you need 250. Some of you need 500,000. It's all depends on individual needs. So when you are doing your budgeting, you know how much money you have to make each year based on your expenses. So your gross income, then all the expenses. Expenses has to be all your real estate related expenses, then your household expenses. So let's say we start with $500,000 and minus all the expenses. At the end, how much you are getting is very important. Net after tax. As a self-employed individuals, when you are making gross income, you always have to allocate your taxes on one side. At least we say if you are incorporated, 15 to 20% for corporate taxes. If you are self-employed individually, then you should be allocating at least 30% of your net income towards the income tax. That's most important thing. Most of you, go ahead.
So his corporation 13 to 40%.
Corporation around 15% taxes, small corporations.
And I have, what is that, corporation.
Yeah, real estate corporation.
Yeah, from short form.
Correct.
Prac,
I
yeah.
have the Prac. So
Yeah.
Prac is corporation,
Yes, it is in corporation.
so 15%.
When you have a, let's say, Prac income is $500,000, right? Then you have all the expenses according to that business. After the expenses, you have a net income. Based on the net income, you are paying 15% of that as a corporate income tax.
Same thing if I have individual, no Prac.
Individual is different. You are coming under the self-employment, a small business. Then under the small business, whatever the net income after the expenses, it coming as your individual income. So based on your marginal tax rate, you are paying the taxes. High marginal tax is around 40-45%. So depends on your income. If less than $100,000, you will be paying almost 30%. If it is more than 175, then you will be paying almost 40% of that. Every dollar you make after 75, you pay 40 cents. So which is high. That's why you have to have the business plan. At the same time, you have to have a tax planning done. Without a plan, it's very hard to achieve your goals, right? And making the commission is one side. The other side is organizing yourself with the taxes. That is a key important thing. Most of the real estate agents, all small business people having problems with the income tax because they don't allocate tax money for the tax purposes. At the end of the year, they all have a problem paying back the income tax, especially the HST. So if you have made $200,000, that 26,000 you're supposed to save in different account, or within your account, you have to save that 26,000 to pay back to the CRA. So you can claim some input tax credits, which is the government give you back some credits for HST, but it doesn't mean you can spend all the HST. Remember, we are the agents, not only for RE/MAX as a real estate agents, we are also agents for CRA, right? Because CRA giving you an HST number to collect HST for your commissions. That HST is not your money. That's what we have to know. But we all take that money and spend. Then we have a huge problem at the end of the year. Yeah.
So, actually, I was thinking the same thing before. Why not office can take care of the HST part? Because when the commission comes, HST is separate. Yes, when HST come to me or an individual, they think, okay, this is my money, and they will see. But why not office take a policy that HST?
You can request the office to take the HST and pay it behalf of you. We can do that. But you have to request individually, because we cannot take it simply your HST because it's belong to you. You're supposed to submit to the CRA. But if you want us to do the HST, deduct from your commissions and pay to the CRA, yes, we can do that.
Whatever the HST we pay for it, we
Yeah.
get it back, right?
Yeah, that is input tax credit. Yeah, what usually people do, they save the HST in a different account. Let's say you are continuously making $300,000 every year. You have almost $39,000 HST collected. That $39,000, if you spend it, at the end of the year, you are going to have a hard time to pay. Believe me, almost 99% of the people get audited. Why they get audited? There are certain reasons. Number one reason, major reason, if you don't file the taxes on time, right? They have a red flag. And the second thing is, unreasonably you claim the expenses. If you collect $39,000 HST and your expenses, input tax credit, you are claiming $42,000, more than that you collected HST. If you have a genuinely, you have all the receipts and payment proof, then you are okay. If you don't have that, then you are in a big trouble. So when it comes to payroll taxes and HSC, CRA is very, very careful. They don't want you to take their taxes. You are an agent to collect their taxes and keep it on your side and pay at the end of the year. Some of the agents, they pay monthly basis. Some of them pay file quarterly or semi-annually, or you can pay annually, right? Recently, within 2-3 years, we are having issues with some of the agents not filing the tax returns, HSTs on time. So when you don't file it, they send you a notice. If you don't file it again, they file themselves, right? So they know how much HST you collected. They will file it without all input tax credit. So which means you will end up paying more and paying the penalties. Simply you follow the guidelines to file taxes on time. You save a lot of money on penalties and interest. So that's why it's important for the agents to follow CRA guidelines, because RICO on the other side, they are also serious when you have a problem with the CRA, with the HSCs, right? That's the important thing, that you have to follow the deadlines. If you are an annual filer, once the year end finish December 31st, you have 1 month to file the HST. By January 31st, you should be filed your return and pay the dues. If it is quarterly filing, every quarter finish, and then 1 month you have filing deadlines. So that's why when you are setting up the goals, making income is one thing. The other thing is organizing yourself. Let's say someone is making $500,000 and they have a net income of $50,000. Then another person is making 300,000, they have a net income of 100,000. Which one is winning on the business, right? Whoever saving that expenses, right? Expenses, you have to have a plan for all the expenses, properly claim, and then keeping the record is more important thing. So when you are setting up the goals, make sure you stay with the goals and follow up every month. You have 12 months to finish your transactions. And at the end of the 12 month, December, you should know, by now, you know how much you made for 2024. Did you achieve your goals? You really have to think about it. At Remax, we are expecting everyone, minimum expectation is to make $50,000. If you are not making that 50,000, it's really a problem, right? Because you have to cover all the cost. That's barely you are covering the cost only. 50,000 is not your aim, but at least it's covering the cost.
Break even.
Break even. That's not enough, because some of your expenses are maybe $150,000 a year. If you made $50,000, what happens? Your other loans going up every month. So that's why you have to set up your goals accordingly, and then sit down with us once a month, review your goals, and make sure that you are achieving that goal. Making that goal is easy, but following that direction and trying to achieve, it's very important. And most of you have a problem when you set up the goals, how we can achieve their goals, right? That's why we say one thing, you have to stay within your database. You have to increase the clientele on your database every single week. You have to see the clients. When you see the clients, you have to get the referrals. If you have 10 clients of yours, from 10 clients, you can increase 100. How you can increase? By communicating them on a regular basis and talking to them and asking them to referrals. You can increase 100 from 10. From 100 to maybe 500. So you have to increase your database. That's why you have to have it on your system, on Excel sheet, all your client's name, first and last name, address, telephone number, email address, and you have to keep sending the messages, all the communications regarding the real estate. We have upcoming projects, we have current projects. You have to send them the newsletters, as they say, every month. You are in contact with them, right? In that way, you can increase your clientele. And the next thing is, as I said, farming is important. Instead of working in all GTA, maybe focus on one particular area. Send them the players 2 times. Third time, you should be working with the players and door knocking.
2 times a month?
No, maybe once a month. 2 times within 2 months. And third month, you should be working with the player, right? And let them know that you send the player, and if they received it, and if they wanted to do a CMA of their property, if you ask 20 houses, maybe 2 of them you get through, right? That is one way of getting the clients, new clients. And third thing is social media advertising. Nowadays, it's becoming very famous, all in social medias. So you can do a lot of our listing. You can post it on your social medias, get the permission with the agents, right? Then post it, all our listing. You never know how you get the clients, right? That is another way of increasing your clients. The other thing is lead generations. You can do that too, but some of you getting successful, some of you are not, but you can get the lead generations from third party. That is also increasing your clientele, because at the end you need 1 or 2 clients per month minimum. If you do 1 sale per month, you should be making over $200,000. 1 sale, not 2, just 1. If you can do twice or 3 times, then your sales are going over $500,000. So all up to you. That's why I always say self-employment about discipline. You see, we have over 200 agents, and almost 60% of them are producing, 40% are non-producing agents. So we are encouraging everyone to make minimum of $50,000. Otherwise, you have to think about yourself. You are spending for licenses every single year, renewals, RICO fees, insurance, car expenses, and all these. And not only you are fooling yourself, people behind you, they are expecting something that you are going to produce or you are going to make money, right? There are dependents behind you. That's why certain amount of income is expected from real estate. Just getting a license and parking or just keeping yourself, it's not going to work. You have to be active in real estate. Doesn't matter how. 50,000 are our minimum target, right? From starting 2025, we are going to closely watch all the agents. We are expecting everyone to make 50 minimum, 50 or more. So if you don't make it, then you have to let us know the reasons why you can make $50,000. Right? Successful agents, right? They are working hard. It's not easy. Even recently, I met an agent. He is making over $600,000. Every morning, they wake up. They are in a team, 3 people. and they go around the areas, farming areas, knock doors. They said they get most of their clients by knocking doors. Even though they are not, they are making over 500,000, they not stop, right, the activities. So that's a way you can increase your productivity. So when you set up a goal, you wanted to achieve that goal. If 200,000 you set it up, make sure every single month how much you have to make. Right?
I have a nice chart, I'm gonna share with them.
Okay.
Download, it's a good
Yeah.
goal tracker, yeah.
Because starting from January, because don't wait until the November or December to achieve your goals, because you wanted to have it at the beginning of the year, most of the achievements, right? Because otherwise you will be running a lot at the end of the year, right? Some people ask, oh, I just sort of 25,000, I am in platinum, or I am in diamond, right? We need to increase another $20,000. You should have done it before. That's why it's better to, it's like running a marathon, right? If you keep too much of a distance, it's very hard to catch. That's why every single month is important. You have to know how much you are getting commission in January, February, March, April, May. Now, because you should be doing the sales for January and February. It's not you don't do the sales in January to get commission in January, right? That will take 2-3 months to close the deals. So that's why everyone should know how many deals that they are closing in the month of January, right? It is important to set up the goals and then follow up with a business plan. So both things are very important. To do a business plan, you have to have the budgeting first. So how much income you are expecting, right? Then what are the expenses? Then how much you are getting at the end is very important, right? I don't know how many of you do the budgeting every year. Anyone does budgeting or no? No? Because that's the only way you can find out your income and expenses. Otherwise, you will be using the credit cards all the time, right, to pay off the expenses. So that's why people do budgeting at the beginning of the year. And they say, okay, this much income that we have, these are the expenses: mortgage payments, property tax, utility bills, insurance payments, telephone payments, internet, and all the expenses. And then at the end, how much they are getting. Because saving is also important for real estate agents, because we are self-employed people. We don't have any private pension plans. Everyone, we encourage to save some money towards your retirement. When you reach age 65, I think by the time we go to the pension, it's going to be 67. So from 67 to, let's say you are going to live up to 90. So that's maybe another 23 years. So how are you going to survive? With the CPP and old age, it's not enough. You have to have some kind of savings every single year for your retirement also. Because $1,800 or $1,700 with the CPP and old age, it's not enough to survive. So you have to have some savings towards your retirements. So all this money has to be in your budget. So these are the expenses, how much you are getting in at the end as a net, and plus how much going towards the savings, right? That is important. So on the next sessions, I wanted to go through the tax planning of the real estate agents, right? How much money they can save just simply planning your tax payments, right? So what are the important expenses that you can write off under the real estate agents expenses, and how you can plan towards your retirements, and also at the same time you can save taxes. Maybe beginning of January, we will do one of those sessions to see how many people are saving money on taxes, right? The other thing I wanted to talk to you is with the cross commissions. When you make cross commissions, you have to allocate, as I said, HSC separate, tax separate, and all the expenses. That is, most of us don't do it, but we have to do it. So how many of you really set up a goal for 2025? You did?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, I am not going to ask you how much, right?
Sat down with already, because if you've sat down with Selvin and I for
Yeah,
a one-on-one, then
Yeah.
we've created it. Do you know what I mean?
So,
We set the goal.
yeah, we
we're
have been
writing it
seeing
down.
agents individually this week. So we are setting up the goals. Our plan is not just setting up the goals. We wanted to monitor every single month. We wanted to sit down with all the agents one by one and trying to push you to make that goal, achieve that goal, because we don't want you to follow behind. But that's why it's important when you set up, you have to set up in a way that you can achieve that goal, right? You don't want to set up in a high and then achieve low. When you set up low, you achieve high, it's always better, right? That's why we wanted to help you to set up the goals. If no one has, I don't know, any of you didn't see us, and I think it's time to see. We will sit down and go through the plans. And we have to have a business plan. Without plan, you are not going to win. I'm telling you. You have to put a plan in place. And then work towards that plan. Because if you don't follow, then you're going to be behind. We wanted to sit down with individually all the agents. That's why I'm pushing at least 50,000. It's very easy. To make 50,000, how many sales you need?
the salesman.
2 sales. Oh my God, if you can do 2 sales in real estate, you're in a wrong business. 2 sales, nothing else.
One every
Yeah.
half a year.
Yeah. That's why I say every week we should have a plan. Every week. Who I am going to sell the house? How I am going to close this deal? Every week. That's very important. Imagine if you do 52 weeks, 52 sales. How much money you will make? Easy. I mean, if you plan it in your head, easily you can make. In real estate, people, I mean, almost 15% of the agents are making that kind of money. Right? Because they have a set goals, they have a set plan, they are following it every single month. And they are asking help with everyone. Right? They're not shy to talk about business. That's one of the issues we are having with the agents, right? They are not talking to the people that they don't even know that they are their friends. They don't know that they are doing real estate. Right?
Secret agent.
Yeah.
Don't be a secret agent.
Most of us are like that, right? So that's why it's very important to communicate and, expose yourself and get into the business. Okay, you're going to go?
For sure. Hello, everyone. So Selvin touched on a lot of good points. I just want to go over a few things here. Where are we going here? There we go. So one thing when you're goal setting, I think it's really important to reflect on your year before, right? So normally I go back and we analyze our performance. So we're going to look at how many sales did we get? Did we hit our targets for last year? What our client feedback was. And then we're going to identify what were our strengths and what were our weaknesses. So what really worked for us? Oh, when I put this ad up on Facebook, that really worked. I got calls off of that. I need to do more of that this coming year? Or, you know, I really threw a lot of money on flyering and it didn't really work for me. What's wrong with my flyers? Am I not putting a call to action on there? Am I not giving good content on those flyers? Am I not providing what's going to make people call me at the end of the day? Right? So you really want to reflect on your 2024 before you start going forward with your goals. Because you can say, oh, okay, I'm going to farm and I'm going to flyer, I'm going to cold call. And you could have already done tons of that and it didn't work. So you have to reflect on your 2024, right? So everyone always talks about defining your reason why. So here you say clarify your motivation. Is it financial freedom or personal milestones? I always like to create two goals when I talk about your goals, because obviously one is always going to be our monetary goal. We're always talking like we're going to hit that $200,000 sales target for 2025. But then I think it's really important that you have a personal goal as well when you're writing out your goals, because that motivates you sometimes more than the money at the end of the day. So maybe like for me, it's usually some sort of travel. I definitely want to go on 2 trips with the kids this year. So that's going to motivate me a lot. Every time I think about hitting my target and hitting my goal, I'm going to think to myself, I really, really want to make 200,000 so I can go on those trips with the kids this year, right? So I think when you write it and you define your plan, you want to make that motivation 2-part personally, right? Not just the money, right? And then you want to visualize your success. Imagine your year. What does it look like? How is achieving those goals going to improve your life? You know, I'm going to drive a better car. I'm going to, you know, buy some new designer clothes, look good for work, whatever those things are. What does success look like for you in 2025, right? All right, so we're talking about SMART goals. Everybody hears about SMART goals. I'm sure you've seen the SMART system. It's nothing new, nothing I created. So we always talk about having very specific goals. So you can't just say, oh, I want to make more money next year. You have to say, no, I made 15 deals this year. Next year, I think I can double that. I think I can hit 30 if I double up my efforts, right? Then you have to measure them. And I have a chart a little later on that we're going to go over. You have to track your progress, right? So you have to say, you know what? I want to make $200,000. That's 50,000 each quarter, right? If you only make 20,000 your first quarter and you haven't tracked that, you don't know at the end of the year, you're behind 30,000 each quarter. That's a lot. It's a lot of your goal that you're not going to get. And like Selvin was saying, now is not the time that you realize you're $25,000 short on your goal, because whatever we're working for today in real estate, we know we're not getting paid till January or February for that, right? So your year is done. Whatever you've made now is what you've made for the year, right? Unless you have a deal closing in the next week or two. Achievable. So they have to be realistic. I mean, of course, I'd like to say next year I'm going to make $2 million, but is that achievable if I only made 50,000 this year or 100,000, right? So we have to make sure that they're very realistic goals, right? And they have to be relevant. So you're going to align your goals with your career aspirations. So what are you going to do? Are you going to target luxury markets? Are you targeting first-time home buyers? What is relevant to you, right? And time bound. So again, we talk about being realistic. It has to be time bound as well. Are you capable of closing, you know, you want to make $2 million. Are you capable of closing 20 deals a month yourself? No. Right? So it has to be relevant. Unless you're a team, if you're an individual person, maybe you can only close 2 or 3 deals a month. That's a lot. We all know that one deal keeps us pretty busy, right? For a good part of a week or two, whether we're listing or buying, right? Between all the stuff that goes back and forth, the inspections, the paperwork, the financing, all of that, right? So definitely time bound is a thing for when we're setting our goals. So we talk about breaking down our annual goals into quarterly milestones, very important. So, I mean, very simple. If you want to do 20 deals in the year, you got to do 5 deals per quarter, right? And break it down into the quarters. We're going to develop a plan for skill improvement. So I think this is something that we don't really focus on, right? Everyone says, I want to do really well, really, really well. And then they come halfway through the year in my office and they go, I haven't done anything, like what's wrong, right? What have you done to improve your skill to make yourself better for 2025, right? So when you're doing stuff, do you need better communication skills? Do you need to know how to negotiate better? Are you just not being tough at the negotiation table, right? Are you not knowledgeable about the market? You're not keeping up with what's going on in our industry, right? Maybe you need to learn some more digital marketing, right? Maybe you need to get better on social media, something like that, right? Invest in learning, and that's not just monetary. You have to attend workshops, You have to show up for training like this today. When I don't see a lot of people for training, it's wasted effort on all of our parts because management gets together and we think, what do you guys need? And we curate the training to say, this is the end of the year. We need to focus on goal setting and business planning. January, we're going to focus on maybe some new skills or go over compliance and stuff like that. Always around tax time, Selvin comes in and talks to us about how to properly file our taxes. So if you guys aren't attending the training, you guys are missing out a lot. You're not investing in yourself and how to be productive for 2025, right? And then building systems, adopting tools like CRM and improve your lead follow-up. So we have the luxury of having that KV Core system for us. We already pay for it with our Remax dues. That takes care of our CRM and our lead tracking and our follow-up and our leads coming in. So there's just it's all built into one, right? So there's no excuse for us not to be using that system. We don't even need to really build it. So we need to leverage our data and technology a little bit. We're going to use our analytics, track market trends, pricing strategies, buyer preferences. A lot of people, we talk about choosing your farm area. But I've had people come in and maybe your farm area is not having a good year. Have you checked what the last sales were in the last 3 months? Maybe there's not a lot of turnover. Maybe it's time to not focus right there and then. Maybe you've picked a luxury area and it's just not the market now. People don't have the budget for it, right? Everybody knows the purse strings are tight right now. So track your market trends for what you're doing. If that is not working for you, then you need to switch it up, right? Implement technology. So I'm big on using your Remax.net. If I sit down and you guys don't even know how to log in, I'm so disappointed because there is so many tools in there to use. Even if you have a listing, you guys know that you go in there and it has a whole kit of everything that you can use. It already has your flyer. It already has your social media background for Facebook. There's a whole kit it creates for your listing. So you literally just go pull it and push it on your social media. It's stupid simple, the things that they provide. And we're paying monthly dues and yearly dues to Remax to use these things. So use the power of it. Any commercial you guys see online, any billboard you see, we have access to all of that and we can personalize that because we're Remax agents, right? You can use those commercials, those billboards, anything you see, any flyer ads that Remax spends a lot of money producing, you can go and use that in your Remax.net, right? And you need to automate more tasks like appointment scheduling or email campaigns. So I'm big on your prospect searches in Realm. That's one of the first things I know when I sit down with all of you, I show you. Because when you have everybody saying, oh, maybe I'll buy something, maybe I'll do something, those aren't your hot leads you're working with right now, right? You need to put that in there and automate it, put it in your prospects. So, because every morning you're not going to look up 25 buyers that potentially you could be working with. But every morning that prospect search is going to send out that email to those 25 people. Right? One simple way to automate, right? Scheduling, CRM, the CRM and KV Core. You're going to be putting everything you need to do in there. Meeting Joe next week for a listing appointment. Have to call Cindy back about, looking at cottages. Whatever you're putting in there, it's going to remind you because you sync it with your Gmail and your calendar, right? So it reminds you when you go in there on your dashboard every day. And just as a saying, I say every day, log into your Remax.net every day because the more you're logging in, the more the leads are funneling in there, right? If you're not logging in a lot, the algorithm, whatever Remax knows at head office, they're not sending you leads because they know you're an agent that's not logging in every day. So the more you're logging in and the more you're using it and the more you're responding to those leads, the more they'll come into your KV Core, right? We talk about building a strong network. So we have to expand your sphere of influence. Like Salman was saying, if you have 10 people on your list, you have to make that 100. How do you do that? You talk to everybody, say, hi, are you buying or selling right now? How are you doing? You need to expand your business? No? Okay. Do you know someone buying or selling? Right? So you need to keep on expanding your sphere of influence every day, connect with your past clients. This is a big thing that I find a lot of agents miss out on. You sold someone a home 5 years ago, and after you sold them a home, you never followed up with them once. You didn't realize that their son got married and bought a house, and now you see that their house is also up for sale. You missed 2 sales there, right? Because you're not following up with your past clients, local businesses, community leaders, whatever it is that you need to expand that sphere of influence. I always I'm a big fan, 10 business cards a day, right? And I very often don't get to 10, but you say 10 business cards a day because that means that everybody I interact with, whether it's somebody I go to a restaurant, somebody serves me, my mechanic, my, hairdresser, my dentist, whoever you're going to, you're handing out 10 business cards a day, right? Attend events, join real estate expos or local meetups to expand your referral base. So lots of things we can take an opportunity for. Like I was paging out Kickstart, good thing to attend, great networking event. Last time we went partners at CIBC, different people at Remax head office, everybody there supporting, but not only Remax stuff, there's a lot of real estate related things, right? And collaborate. Collaborate is a good way to expand your business too. Have you guys thought about partnering with your mortgage brokers, your inspectors, whoever is out there that might be insurance brokers, somebody that might be mesh with your business that can help and you guys can refer back and forth, expand your book of business that way, right? And then we're going to monitor progress monthly. So we're going to review our metrics. What do we close deals? Do we get new leads? Are clients satisfied with our performance, with our service that we've given them? And we need to be fluid. Like I said, if something's not working, just because this is your goal and this is what you said you're going to do, it's not rigid. You have to be able to adjust your plans accordingly. If you fall short in the first quarter, like I said, why did I fall short in the first quarter? Well, maybe the farm area that I'm hitting is just not turning over this year. Had a really hot year 2 years ago because everybody was buying, plus $2 million homes because I've picked that area. I'm going to shake it up. I need to maybe focus on an area that's under $1 million right now because I know that everybody's budget is strung out and the interest rates were high. And, you need to be able to change things like that. Okay, so we're going to talk about monitoring your progress. So I find every year that I've been here, I don't know if you guys remember, I had because I'm a spreadsheet girl, part of accounting background myself, right? So I find it was too complicated and a lot of you guys weren't using it. So I squished it down and I super simplified it. And this is available for you guys to download and play with yourself and plug in your numbers, right? So this is how we're going to track our progress, okay? We have our monthly target. So what's your monthly target for deals closed? Right? For leads generated, for how many client meetings you have, for the listings you secured, how much of your marketing budget did you use? Like Selvin was saying, are you guys budgeting? Saying that this year, if I make, $200,000, I'm going to put 20,000 of that into my marketing, whatever the case may be. Now you got to break that up. How are you going to spend that over your quarters? How many social media posts am I going to put up? I'm going to push a little social media this year because I find we need to be a little more tech savvy. The office has set up that beautiful green room now, and they're getting a camera in there, but it's a great opportunity for you guys to sit there and record your TikToks, post stuff on your Facebook, post stuff on your Instagram, whatever social media platform you're on. Use it and abuse it, especially now with that beautiful room that we have here. How many training hours you completed? I put that on there because I want to see faces here now. You guys, not a lot of offices have a space like we have here. This is fantastic. You know what I mean? They're we have lovely coffee. We're sitting in comfy chairs, desks. You could bring your laptop, start working and implementing what we're teaching you. So definitely make use of it and challenge yourself to dedicate a certain amount of time to how many hours you're going to train with the office. And then how many referrals you receive and how much income you actually earn. And then you're just going to go and it's very simple, your monthly target, and then how much you earn, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and see what happens at the end of the day, right? So I threw that up. If you guys download, if you have trouble, just let me know and we can go over it. All right. Together. Good. All right. So how do we stay motivated? Reward yourself with like simple wins. I only wanted to do 1 deal a month and I did 2 in March. You know what? I'm going to go for a massage. I'm going to have a spa day. I'm going to treat myself. I think that's what I would do. I don't know what else makes you guys happy, but that's where I'd be headed first. I'm going to the spa. I'm getting a massage and a facial for sure. Right? So stay positive, focus on solutions, not setbacks. So I was supposed to do 1 deal a month and I didn't do anything and it's the last week of the month. Okay, but I am working with that buyer now. Maybe I'll push hard and try to do 2 for next month, even though my goal is 1 a month. Like it's not your fault always. You could be trying and executing your plan, and sometimes plans don't work out, right? So you just have to focus on what the solution is. And build accountability. So we're trying to do this by like coaching you guys essentially monthly. But it's a huge task. There's 190 people in this office. We've been meeting with 4 or 5 people every day. It's pretty exhausting, right? So we're trying to coach you, but try and find an accountability partner. You know, maybe I'm going to call you ladies in the morning and say, hey, what'd you do today? What'd you do yesterday? Did you hand out 10 business cards? Did you get a listing appointment this week? Did you take out a buyer? Did you host an open house? How did you try and find business this week, right? What worked for you? Okay, so very important, that accountability. And then align with long-term vision, sorry. Revisit long-term goals. Ensure your 2025 goals align with your 5 or 10-year career aspirations. So if you want to retire in the next 5 years and you need X amount of money to retire, and you're saying, you know what, someone said make 50, at least 50 this year, I'm going to do at least 50 this year. Is that going to get you to where you want to be in 5 years? Right? Is that going to get you where you want to be? Is that going to let you retire if you want to retire in 5 years? Right? And create legacy goals. Focus on building lasting client relationships and a personal brand. This is super important. There's one thing everybody knows. My father was a real estate agent my whole life. Once me and my brother got our licenses, he said, don't go chasing business every day. He's like, you drive yourself nuts. You have to make sure that you're really good to your clients, that you leave a lasting impression with them, and they go, that's the best agent ever. She actually cares about me. She's actually a friend to me. And that will create your repeat and referral business, right? Once you're 5 years in the business, you should be getting those calls from your past clients. If it's not a referral, at least from them themselves redoing business with you. If they call somebody else, you have to visit what's going on and why you're not getting a repeat and referral. Yeah, sorry.
So regarding that, can I throw a small case study?
Sure.
So one of my clients,
Mhm.
last 2 weeks, this is recent incident. I'm not saying the incident is recently happening. Now, so she lives Leslie and York Mills.
Mhm.
I live Midland and St. Clair.
Right.
So last 1 month, couple of times I go all there from Midland Center to pick up her and a family from Leslie and go all the Pickering, Scarborough, show the properties. So ladies little bit conflict, which one. Finally, I think the husband likes, he likes, very nice.
Yeah.
The wife, she also likes, but she's not expressed. She wants to see some more.
Mm.
It's happening on Friday. So the Friday, the day that finally they found the property, very nice. It's
Yeah.
really nice. So I understand they're going to put the offer. Before that, I show a lot of property, a lot of these every week, twice. They okay, but this on the line.
Mm.
So Friday we show the property. I was expecting a call from them. Okay, we are going to put an offer. I am not calling them. I'm expecting call from them. Then Saturday gone, Sunday night I call them. So what happened? It's not any offer day, anytime. What is the feedback? What's going on? What we are going to do? We have a daughter. They have 2 daughters who are working. We have to show them before we put the offer. So fine, make it time. So they are giving me time on Monday or Tuesday. Like by this time, Monday morning, I will cut the property soon.
Mhm.
Monday property soon.
Mhm.
So I feel bad.
Yeah.
I know they liked it. They were going to put offer. I said, text them. Sorry, this sold. Since then, they are very upset. When I call the wife, she said, oh, yeah, we call Bhai, right?
Mhm.
Brother is Bhai.
Yeah.
He said, your brother is going to be very upset. He likes it a lot. So I understand husband was very interested to put offer, but the wife was trying to get some more.
Mhm.
So because of wife, husband lost the property.
Mhm.
Now, little bit, they are not contacting me. I mean, I called them, they
Mhm.
said, I think a little bit distance. She's been 10 days. So I said, giving them some time. I said, let's see what they are going to do. I'm not bothering them. Is there any fault from my part in this scenario? Or what's better I could do, or what could be done in future?
So I think that I probably, like you said, you didn't follow up with them. I mean, that is I don't know if you could have pushed them, right? Because maybe they weren't
That is
ready.
the point.
That,
Right.
that was my
But-
first thing in my mind.
Yeah,
I
You
didn't
said,
push
you,
them.
you said you were giving time. I was thinking the property should have been gone.
yeah.
No,
Right.
because it's anytime, that property
real
is
estate-
9 days on the market.
Real estate, you have to explain to the client, timing is very important. What you see today, you are not going to get it tomorrow.
Let
Right?
me explain. You say 9 days on the
If
market,
you don't make a
right?
decision,
9 days.
sometimes
Mhm.
they are keen on buying today.
And they're little bit complicated.
Yeah.
So from my part,
But
I'm not going to push
I
them.
can't tell you in my 18 years how many times I've seen this. Forget 9 days on the market. Here's a property, and anybody who's had their license a while, 55 days on the market. Say something's 55 days on the market. And I go and I show it to my client, and my client really likes it, and I call the next day and it's sold. As soon as your client wants it, 10 other people want it, whether it's 1 day on the market or 50
Yeah.
days on the market. So I always pressure my clients, and they say, you never know what's gonna happen. You can take your time, but you never know what's gonna happen. If you put that warning bug in their ear, they're not gonna somehow blame you in the background. You know what I mean? But I mean, now you just have to kind of rectify it by being gentle with them. Maybe really look very hard for very similar properties. And say, I found one that looks just like that one. Let's go see it. Actually, it's in a better area, or maybe it's a corner lot, whatever. Make it sound like it's something that you're actively looking because you're hurt too. I'm really sorry you missed out on that one. You know what I mean? Let me find you something and look for very, very similar properties. What did they really like about that property? Did they really like because it was a corner lot, or did they really like it
No,
because it had an
uh,
open concept kitchen, whatever
Now,
they liked
now
it
your
for?
beauty is, the
Mhm.
property is gone, you have to identify another property similar to this.
Yeah.
And call them, okay, I found the same.
I found
exactly
it.
Same property.
Yeah.
Can we go and look at it?
Mhm. And don't miss a day.
Yeah.
Like even if I didn't find something today, I'll say I looked in the system and this one's really close, except it doesn't have that like whatever that they liked. It didn't have the 2-bedroom basement, it only has a 1-bedroom basement. Do you think this would work or no? Okay, I'll keep my eyes open. I'll keep my eyes open. Let them know that you're actively looking daily for them because you're upset too. You're like, oh, I can't believe we missed that
what I
one.
figure out,
You know?
husband is upset with wife
Mm,
and wife is upset with whole situation. So
I know.
it is a little bit setback, so the last 6 days actually now.
Yeah.
Give me some time, okay.
Mhm.
Take breath. I'm planning to call on the weekend.
Yeah,
So let's see how it goes going on.
yeah.
So what was happening from because I'm researching what happened. I didn't push them because my point was I'm not going to push them. Then later on, oh, you push us. So
Mhm.
that is from my
I
side.
know. It's a fine.
Clients are never satisfied.
Never, I know.
When we push them to buy this, then they says, oh, maybe we could find better, they don't come with a deposit, The next
Exactly.
day They are thinking, the whole day we are
Mhm.
calling, bring the deposit. I don't need
The
it.
only good thing is the
But
next one they
because
like.
I push them and then I call VJ, please tell this client that this is the best,
Yeah,
and then I convince, they come up with a deposit,
yeah, yeah.
And he says, oh no, we were looking some more, you push us to buy this,
Crazy.
I added this point.
Yeah.
If the client say the like the property, the husband, you should know that, okay,
I
husband like it,
know, but
okay.
I thought they
No,
would
no.
come back.
I will give the point for you.
Mhm.
My experience, I do 15 years and above.
Okay.
Sometimes husband like it, okay, you need it or the wife will take time, okay?
Yeah.
You have to take extra time and take a restaurant, good restaurant, and give the time to think about, and they are face to face, they are sitting in between. In the middle of they are happy, they come and talk to you, why don't you push this offer?
Yeah.
You have to give another way
To
around.
go to
That's the way
movies.
the people get cool. Done.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So-
learning process. Life is a learning
They
process.
are
Yeah.
never satisfied,
No.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
friend,
Yeah.
$400. They are happy, they never,
You could-
sometimes husband never take the restaurant for the wife.
Like I say,
What
if
do-
you see a house though, and they like it, and it's not overpriced, and it's not broken down, it's okay to give your clients a little push. We're not doing something
That's a-
bad.
it's
We're
a-
not being nefarious.
it's a-
Like if we're not saying, oh, we're pushing them to buy this overpriced property, or we're pushing them even though we know there's a problem with the property. You're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes clients need a little push.
Eventually they
You know what I
will
mean?
find my-
Yeah.
Christine,
And the very next time they fall in love with a house, you better believe they'll act a lot faster because they've learned now. They've been burnt, right?
Sometimes
Yeah.
your technique,
Christine,
making process is unique,
Mhm.
right? You have to be involved sometimes. Well, let's try this property today with this price. They are signing back. You know that they are going to sign back. And let them know that let's try to put an offer today. If they are signing back, I'm not going just going to plan.
Yes, learning process. I'm little bit upset because I was thinking this is done. Almost
okay.
done
And
this.
you were
okay.
calculating commission.
I know. Do you guys do that too, right? As soon as the
Kristen, I have
offer
a-
before it's even accepted, you calculate your commission on the realtor.
Christine,
Everybody does, right?
7 people who got my open house.
No, that's it.
Oh.
That one will buy first.
That
My
one is
house
for
is
your
gone.
house.
That one is gone.
You will sold?
Yeah,
No,
it's
That's
a-
good.
the condition.
No, they are looking for 3 bedrooms.
Sorry.
All right, so in ending, I don't want to take too much time. We're a little bit over. We have some meetings now. Just book your one-on-one if you haven't with Selvin and I. We're only doing them until next week because then the week after is the holidays, right? So get it in. If you don't, then it's fine. But book with us first week of January. But like we were saying, we really wanted to try to get them done by the end of this year because then January 1st, you're gonna hit the ground running and you know what your goal is. You know what you need to do to achieve that. You know how to start your business right away, right?
Next week, ChatGPT, the AI.
So next week we have a super full week. Just a quick recap. So Tuesday we're gonna have the AI guy in. And then Wednesday we're having CoStar come in. So anybody interested in commercial real estate, CoStar's coming in. Wednesday we're doing that for sure. And then Thursday off the top of my head, I don't remember what the training is. No, I think it's on my
Chris-
schedule. But you guys will get a page for videos. It's 3 days next week anyways, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's stuff happening here. So make a little push for the end of the year so you know you're fully equipped and ready to go.
Someone has to help us for the flyer creation, like.
No problem.
Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Literally, okay,
And
so
we are looking some new houses, new
I-
listings, some kind of wording.
yeah,
Yes, we got
Sree's
all
not
the-
online or here, but
Certain neighborhood, we got a listing and so.
Yeah.
So we can push it to get it another listing.
so even if you guys are stuck, I literally, we had a team of about 4 or 5 of us. Sree was the most dedicated. I think we did 5-6 months in a row. I created the flyer and he literally just switched my head out and put his head on. I don't care as long as we're not flyering the same area. If you need ideas or help or something, you know what I mean? Like, let's think about it together, right? Definitely you should be creating your Happy New Year, right? Have you guys done calendars for any of your clients now? This is a good time of year to hand calendars out or a magnet for their fridge. Little gift now since the holiday season, something for your clients, right? So
Christine.
something to give them and then definitely a Happy New Year. That's what I'm going to start off with. Every year it's a Happy New Year
I
flyer.
would say another one you should implement for this group. It's like a different community, go for door community, door knocking.
Yeah,
Flyer throwing, like
Yeah.
different language people, like 2 people, 3 people.
I
Like a different-
seriously agree.
Don't say what.
And door knocking and partners is great, but if you have
Like
2
a
people,
different
if you have 2 people, different, yeah, absolutely. It works.
Don't in Scarborough neighborhood or market, go for away.
Yeah,
I-
whatever your guys' plan is. So, I mean, line up with somebody. We were meeting with everybody, but a lot of things we're hearing when we're doing the one-on-ones is people want to partner up. They really, not necessarily that you're a permanent team with each other, but they want to partner up with somebody. Maybe do a flyer together, maybe do a little door knocking together.
That is
So-
maybe a good idea to team up, right?
Mhm.
2-3 people together, set up a team yourself. You find a person that you wanted to work with. Basically, you are not sharing your commissions. You are just sharing the ideas and help with each other,
Mhm.
right? You are advertising their product and they are advertising your product. So in that way, both of you helping each other,
Yeah,
right? You wanted to do a little marketing.
yeah.
in
It
that
helps
way.
with your motivation.
Sometimes when you walk into the house, if you have 3 people on your team or 3 people walk in, you talk with the different languages. Sometimes the person that you are knocking, it's not your language, it's the other person's language. So it's easy to interact people like that.
Hi, Christine.
So anyways, reach out to us and happy goal setting. Definitely sit down and write down your goals now. And hopefully we all achieve them next year. Hopefully 2025, I want to hear from everybody how well they're doing. This year was bit with everybody coming in a little depressed. So 2025 is where it's at. We're all going to make a lot of money and be very happy next year, right?
Hi.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Have a good morning. Bye, everyone online.
Hi.
Which is the filing